crack of dawn and go into some training. The majority of the bridgemen in Bridge 4 said, fuck that noise, I'm going back to bed, and promptly did. A couple did not. There were some very enthusiastic folks.
All right, now I'm online.
Welcome. After which, you all proceeded to go on another bridge run where there were several injured individuals who Kaladin then decided that he wasn't going to abandon, like the standing order is for any injured bridgeman who can't go back onto their own strength and run bridges. And instead, he lashed them to the roof and dragged their ass back. This became an issue, namely because word of it got to the High Lord, who was in command of the bridgemen, and he said, well, we're not going to feed them at all. At first, suggestions for half rationing were hatchet. At first, suggestions for half rationing a bunch of the bridgemen's food was suggested by Kaladin. However, again, most of the bridgemen said, fuck that noise, outside of a few more enthusiastic members. Realizing that it was a largely untenable situation, Kaladin came up with an idea that involved going and picking up stones, and more importantly, good old knobweed stalks.
Knobweed.
After enlisting the help of Toomey, Rock, Teft, Pelinar, and Garrick, the group ended up collecting a decent amount of the knobweed stalks, and later on that night, finding the stowed away stalks and milking them into old alcohol bottles for use as antiseptic for the injured people, as well as somehow randomly acquiring him a bunch of spheres to go and purchase a cauldron, as well as a stew that Rock cooked for the bridge crew. One of the last things heard by the group was that Rock said essentially, give it a good 2 weeks and these men will be yours.
Ooh.
Kaladin's response was, we're bridgemen. We don't have 2 weeks.
Yum.
It was at this point that through some natural 20s, a strange connection seemed to be formed between our local big eyebrow boy and Dalinar Kolin. Whereupon you saw the memories of earlier in the day
Hype
as
train.
a Chasm Fiend accidentally approached the King's warband a little too early, killed a bunch of people before almost killing the King Elokar when Dalinar managed to save him in an act of unparalleled glory, and then help to kill the rest of the beast with his son, Adolin. Some asshole just all the way down.
Don't you love people?
Yeah, it's great. But yeah, then the connection was broken. Everybody thought, that's weird. In fact, Raphael went up and just stared at, I believe it was Pelinar.
Oh, yeah. The only other person that was awake. I was like, hey, yo, that was a weird fucking dream, right?
And then you proceeded to not leave as you stared him in the face.
We learned that two men can write.
Yeah. One from her dad's and the other one a ex-ardent.
Yeah, wide-eyed.
Yeah, light-eyed ex-ardent. Fuck light eyes. All my homies hate light eyes, but lol okay. Namely because he's mildly terrifying.
Also, me and him, we've been here for a few months, surviving. So there's a small kinship of survival.
Few months is generous.
Turning our dirt bunks into bunk beds so that we have more room for activities and sweet nature.
It would have
so much room for activities.
It would have by now been a few months because we had to do bridge runs for weeks.
No. You've been here for a total of about 2.5 weeks, and
Okay,
that makes you some of the longest living bridgemen currently in the camp.
Go
Uh,
Garrick.
What's the record?
Oh yeah.
There are rumors, as always.
How-
100
I
bridge
mean,
runs.
shit. Yeah, there's
Oh,
the
that's
100 bridge
right.
runs rumor.
That's right.
Supposedly 100.
What's the
then.
record?
Hold.
How close is it? We'll have to ask around.
Mhm.
The record is 12.
I'm gonna laugh if that's the actual answer.
But regardless, after this strange shared experience that you all had, you did promptly thereafter come to realize that, oh shit, there was actually a
You're smart.
disastrous hunt that happened with the king and his party earlier that
Smart.
day.
Smart.
Huh. Well, that's weird. Let's see here. I think the only one present who hasn't had a strange Sprin interaction is what, Varix and Lil?
Yep, Lola's not had one,
This is
and yep,
Oh no,
Garrick.
no, Varix did. Varix did.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
literally last session.
He had his
Yeah.
natural 20.
I'm
Okay,
the only
Lil,
one here.
I was like, I
roll
wrote
that
down, I
Arcana
forgot.
check.
Arcana, come on! God damn it!
No.
At least it's not a natural one, baby.
This is true. I think I got a natural 2 last time, so not much better.
For reference, we are 13 nat 20s and 6 nat 1s for 3
Solid.
sessions.
Why did you say something? Now we're
Because I want it to happen. I want it to happen. I invite the chaos.
I swear, if I roll a nat 1 on a save tonight, it's gonna be your fault.
Yeah.
You're damn right it will be.
To me, you're looking around the barracks, and besides your own interesting little Sprin friend, there are a decent few people that have little Sprin friends that are hanging out. The weird blonde one, Raphael, has a little kind of light circle that just keeps on circling her head. Well, his head rather.
It's the
It's
hair.
okay. You're gonna have to get used to it, just like I had. People had to get used for me last campaign.
Oh yeah, it'll be fine. Plus Raphael is kind of he's very pretty. So
He's a pretty boy. Archie.
you see these kind of interesting little indentations just constantly on the wall that are kind of shifting next to Varix. You see
I'm outside.
a lot of people.
Any NPCs of note that have a sprint?
Not besides Kaladin.
Huh.
Also, you don't see shit.
I mean, I was just curious.
I know.
You're not
So
allowed
as
to
far
be
as
curious.
I'm aware, I know. I'm a bridgeman. All I'm supposed to do is work. My bad.
Yeah. Shush.
Sorry, boss.
Shush.
Oh, that's right.
Grow cooler
you-
eyebrows.
You see this interesting little kind of shifting pattern constantly going on good old Luis's clothing.
Are these?
It's just tie-dye. Don't worry about it.
Are these Sprin that like I've seen before,
Mm-mm.
or do they look different?
No, these ones are weird. Like, you kind of think like the one that's talking to Kaladin could be a Windspren. Yeah, there's some minor parallels that you can make to other Spren, but like these are something in and of themselves. You also see around Garrick's head what looks like a little kind of mini steam cloud.
Chilling outside with a little steam cloud.
Very
Is
tiny,
mine
not
still
that big.
chilling with me?
Yep, you kind of just skitters around your body, little ink blot.
Do any of them look like they notice the Sprin?
Mm-mm.
Didn't I notice mine?
Oh no, do you mean the individuals who they're around interacting with them at all?
Yeah, like do the people who have the Sprin on them, does it look like they're interacting with them?
Roll a perception check.
Yeah, do it. Don't be scared.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not hiding anything. I'm the strange guy in the corner who looks like he's poking around at air.
I just have eyebrows that are sick.
Long ass eyebrows.
Brow City.
Brow City, bitch. Brow City, bitch.
Brow city, bitch. Brow city, bitch.
Perception checks not coming across with titties, bitch.
I rolled a 12.
It came across here.
That was funny.
The only one that you expressly are seeing actually have some minor interaction is Raphael, whose eyes you'll see occasionally trace the path of the glowing golden ball of light.
It's like when there's only one person that sees the gnat in the room.
Do you feel that?
Everyone
Roman?
else is just completely oblivious to it, but they're just like,
Alrighty. Yeah, and then of course you have seen Kaladin quite literally talking to whatever the hell his sprint is.
Yeah, that I knew.
So is she
I'll go
perceiving
over-
us? Like all of us?
I perceive you.
I mean, I guess you could add a little something. Basically, you just see me like rubbing my like arm. That's about it.
Alrighty.
I'll go over to Raphael.
Okay.
oh boy. Alright. What time of day is it right now?
It's pretty late at night. You guys are about to go to sleep.
Sleepy time.
Well, there's not much room, but if you want to come in, I guess you can.
No,
So I
that's
pat
not.
the cot.
I
I
guess.
just had a question.
No?
No,
All right, fine.
just a quick question.
Whatever.
Well made.
I don't even care.
Anyways, as I just go ahead and just like splay out on it. Yeah, what's up?
The
Imagine you're just staring at him like
the sprint floating around your head. Have
Just
you
the-
always had that?
You
Saw
can
you
see that?
interacting with it earlier. I saw you interacting with it earlier. Have you always had it? Is it new?
Is it new or have I had this?
Oh no,
Pretty sure
that
it's new,
just showed
right?
up that showed up like 3 days ago.
Just gonna kind of like lean up a little bit, get like real close to your face and look at your eyes. Doesn't look any different. You can see them though? No, wait, tell me more. I have not had this companion forever.
I'm gonna
It's
back
definitely a
away from
recent-
him. It's definitely
no,
what?
No, you wanted to talk. It's definitely recent. It's a recent thing that appeared. So
Okay.
what do you think? Has it interacted with you?
No.
Are there more? I'll lean back.
Yes.
Bummer. Okay. Huh. I'm gonna
So you
immediately
can
try and
see
grab
that one.
for it again. This one, right? As it just weaves straight through my hands and
Yeah,
just
just-
does not stay in the grip. Just like, God damn it.
It's completely playing around with her fingers, just like dipping in between them.
One of these days I'm gonna catch it.
What happens if I take the one that's like chilling around my hand and bring it close to that one? I swear to God, I'm not coming
Sprintception?
on to you.
Sprintception.
You see
I'll
her
look forward.
fingers. You see her finger just get very close to you and then pull away.
I'm gonna
I was
tentatively open up the
experimenting.
cot again. Like, is this yes or
Good
no?
night, and I'm gonna walk away.
Raphael, I'm just curious. Roll a persuasion check.
I'm so confused on what this whole thing was. It's like, all right, gonna come over here and talk about the invisible friends. I don't know. I think my cot's pretty cozy.
He does make a good argument, but it is your choice.
What did you roll? I think my roll 20 is fucked up. Let me
18 is what you rolled.
No, thank you.
Just kind of like the quizzical eyebrow, like, what the fuck? I don't understand what's going on
Have a
here.
good evening.
Just gonna roll back up the cot, whatever. Turn back around, then immediately go like this starfish in the bed, just staring at the ceiling. What's going on here? It must be just a lack of sleep. You know? People are seeing things.
As you all find your way to bed for the night, sleep is quick. You dream of storms. And when you awake, you hear Kaladin calling everybody up to training. When all of a sudden, you see the squat, one-eyed man of Gaz, the sergeant for the whole bridge crews,
Dude.
walk up. Gasm duty, he says, spitting out this very dark, thick liquid from his mouth. Roll nature checks.
Gross. Are you okay, sir? Got some gross ass shit coming out of your
Marshall.
mouth.
Hey,
Adding
Marshall.
it to the book.
Marshall.
Adding it to the book.
Asshole.
Raphael,
Fuck
and
I rolled a 17. I don't know what's going on with my roll 20. Sorry.
check
check the
your
extension.
beyond 20, yeah, see if it's updated. Raphael, Toomey, and yeah, you both recognize that as Yama root. Imagine like chew, only something a little bit thicker. They don't typically like have it as kind of a stringy chewable substance, more of like a root that you just hold in the back of your mouth and chew all day. But it stains your mouth black is its big thing. Has some mild euphoric properties, however. What? Kaladin says, looking over at him. You guys weren't scheduled for chasm duty. That much you know for sure. Because you went on a bridge run yesterday, you are exempt from them. How you were actually supposed to go to the smithy, which is located in the far ass back of the map over here. Which sounds like it would normally be hard work, but really the blacksmiths there don't typically want any distractions, so they just have you guys move a couple of ingots back and forth for maybe an hour or two, and then leave you for the rest of the day. You see Gaz kind of step up. You see, you got me thinking the other day. Nobody cares if Bridge 4 is given unfair work details. Everyone hates chasm duty. I figured you wouldn't care. How much did they pay you? Kaladin, you see, step forward and loom over the short bridge sergeant. Storm off. You see him spit another black wad of Yama plant out. The others resent you. It'll do your crew some good to be seeing paying for what you did. Surviving? Everyone knows you broke the rules in bringing back those men. If the others did what you did, then we'd have barracks filled with dying people before the leeward side of the month was over. They're people, Gaz. If we don't fill the barracks with wounded, it's because we're leaving them out there to die. They'll die here anyway. We'll see. As you see, Kaladin narrow his eyes at him. Fine. But I'm not taking the blame with my men this time. They'll know that you ordered it. As Kaladin storms off back towards the barrack. Chasm duty. Gaz is a piece of shit.
Always has been.
Fuck that guy.
Sounds like a goblin. I don't trust goblins.
Gavin.
Grace, I forgot to mention my character hates goblins.
Hate goblins. They're the worst.
Hi.
Thanks for letting me know. 3 sessions. I appreciate it.
Yeah, just wanted to let you know. You know.
Yeah, thanks. That's the fucking. I think that was the only.
There are goblins in your world, right? I just want to make sure.
Shockingly enough, no, there aren't.
No, that sucks. No, they're still part of my backstory, so figure it out.
That was the most infuriating like 1 session I've had that entire fucking campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get in a fight with everybody. I'm gonna scream like 1 sentence, and I'm not gonna tell you about any of this until we're in the middle of session. By the way,
And not only that, but the whole group is gonna give you a choice to explain yourself and knock your bullshit off, and they tell you multiple times, and then they're like, "All right, if you don't stop, I'm gonna attack you." But no,
Guys, I'm
let's
worried we're
push the
projecting a little
bear.
bit.
anyways, okie dokie. Chasm duty.
I was waiting for Caleb to step in there.
Caleb is deafened as fuck.
Could have thought about it.
Yeah. In any case, chasm duty. Chasm duty sucks. You've had to do it once in your 2.5 weeks here. Sucks namely because there is a full cavity search afterwards to make sure you're not harboring any spheres.
Nice.
You
Hey,
also have
about that
to.
arrowhead.
You also have to go
Maybe
deep into the chasms where it is just overgrown with mossy bullshit, where there are dead bodies, where there's the possibility of chasm fiends showing up. There's a
Big
lot of
crab
reasons.
monster.
Dead bodies.
I love how no one said chasm fiends as their concern. It was everything else.
I just remembered the big crab monster, right? That's the same thing.
Yeah,
I'm
here,
just
let me-
hyped about the cavity search.
You're right. You're right.
Let me
walk
show
like
you.
crab, talk like
Gross.
people.
Gross.
This is what you saw last time, by the way. There's a Rashadium. There's Dalinar. There's Adolin.
Negative inspiration.
There's Big Crab.
The crab.
Crabs.
Crabs.
Crab.
Crab.
Ragu.
But yeah, that's about how big they are.
Hard pass.
Oh,
So-
this is cuddles.
You all will approach the edge of the chasm and start making your way slowly down the ladder.
Making my way downtown. Walking
As you
back.
go, you see the darkness just grow thicker and thicker with each rung of the ladder. The only lights at the bottom being revealed through little glittering life spren that, for some reason, tend to dance around the plants growing over corpses.
Morbid.
It's a fairly surreal experience as you see Kaladin pull out one of the many torches. The first one that will be lit, and after that, once it goes out, you will slowly replenish them throughout your time. Particularly because you definitely don't want to be caught down here in complete darkness, not knowing your way out. And this is what
How
you
deep
see.
does it go?
Pretty deep.
Like, are we cave diving, essentially?
Look at roll 20 real quick.
I see.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, thankfully, it doesn't look like there's much caves. I just don't
Yeah.
like how it looks.
Yeah, not so much caves.
Just a chasm.
Though, yeah, chasms. Just deep ass chasms filled with a bunch of shale bark and random moss and
Dying flesh and bones.
dying
Yay.
flesh and bones.
Dying flesh and bones, yay. I mean, gross.
Lolth will love it here.
Yeah. As you all,
Go!
oh, by the way, I would like to apologize. I don't have access to my incarnate for some reason right now, so I wasn't able to pull my maps that I would normally have. So I got some nice images for you instead.
Take an image of greatness. Look at me standing right there.
Somebody
any
push him into the pool. Somebody push him into the pool.
As you all start navigating your way through the sometimes narrow, sometimes wide pathways of the chasm, looking for anything valuable, here and there you'll come across a spear, maybe a leather shield that might have been found. You splash down and kind of trudge through some water. At this point, you hear the ever old and complaining Teft grumbling. Storms take that Kremling Gaz, sending us down here when it isn't our turn. I'll have his beans for this. I am sure he is very scared of you, Rock says, stepping off the ladder.
I'll have his beans for this.
It's probably back in Camp Crang in fear. Storm off. As you all gather at the bottom, you'll kind of look around and see all these interesting little scuttling Kremlings. Kremlings, by the way, are just any really small crustacean-like animal. That's just a general term, like bugs or rodent. These ones are of particular interest, though, because their bodies are translucent, so you could actually literally see their little lungs filling up with air, and then their little hearts
Dope.
pumping. And you can see the tiny little, extremely small gem hearts that are growing inside them.
That's cute.
Yeah. You all walk for a bit longer, and will find what appears to be a shattered bridge crew. Their bodies twisted and mangled, as a high storm clearly carried them from somewhere farther in the shattered plains and dumped them into this culvert. As you stand above them, you'll hear Kaladin say a very quiet prayer. May you someday find a place of honor in the Tranquiline Halls, fallen brothers. And may we find a better end than you. As he ducks down and starts looting through the bodies. What are y'all doing?
I'm gonna participate.
Yeah, I'll join.
Alrighty. Roll investigations.
I tuck my eyebrows back that don't get dirty.
Alrighty.
Gross.
It's kind of fun when
Oh.
Merrick's tucks his eyebrows back, because it looks like he has then two white streaks running through his very luscious
Gosh, I
hair.
hate you.
Oh, damn, Jade, you just outdid me.
Hey, just one more time for Marshall in the back.
This asshole.
8, not 1.
Like I got an unnatural one.
Unnatural. Love it.
Too distracted by all the little cribblings running around. They got
I'm
shiny.
sorry, I forgot to.
Obviously, that's where my eyes are going.
Man, the two that have stepped forward to attempt to search through the bodies just aren't finding jack shit. To be fair, they were bridgemen, so there wasn't a lot to find in the first place.
Upon seeing
But-
Oh
him,
wait,
I'm
mine
gonna
didn't roll.
lean
It's-
over and be like, I'm gonna go looking, but I have no idea what I'm looking for.
I just
You guys
find
will
some
see
human
Lowell
fecal
dig
matter.
through. Yeah.
Good job, Cam.
You guys will see Lowell just casually stick his hand in between some of the boards of a shattered bridge and pull out what looks like a decent sack of gems, chucking it over at Rock, who has the big loot collection bag.
You're welcome.
I look over at Raphael and I'm like, what a fucking show off.
You know,
Raphael does not see you or hear you. He
I'm
is
looking the
very much
complete
so.
other direction. Just
He's-
Well, I'm gonna still
He's
say it.
so
direct eye
distracted.
contact with this little crab-like creature. I'm like trying
Totally
to figure out how I
zoned.
can get this card out of it. I'm just like,
Well, I still
By the
say
way,
it.
the gem heart is like teeny tiny. It's like the size of a grain of sand or a very, very small pebble.
that's all I see. That's all I'm focusing on.
Its black eyes are staring back into yours just
Oh, God.
intensely.
I
We're
think I
just
found some.
in a lockdown. Just
Luis, you find what looks like kind of a flint and steel and a couple other just regular pedestrian items that you shove into the loot bag.
Give you the loot.
Give me the loot.
Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
So I know they're gonna search me, right?
Oh God, yeah, like every part of you.
Okay.
Are you gonna make it worth their while?
See, that's what.
If anything is found, you are beaten,
And possibly killed.
depending on what you are
see.
hiding.
What if I describe this piece of steel for me? Because I'm smart enough to know they're searching, but I'm wondering if I'm wise enough to think I can get it past them or not, because my wisdom's low. And I want this steel.
It's a
Just one.
fairly standard flint and steel type where it's a block maybe that big
So
and
it's just a steel
relatively
block.
thin. Yeah.
You know, try to now you see me this shit and like hide it in the crevices of your palms while they're searching you.
Well, see, intelligence-wise, I know that this is a bad idea. I'm gonna not do it. I'm gonna not cause problems this early in the campaign. But I really am thinking about it. I want this thing.
Getting
Evan,
quite literally beaten.
Restraint.
I'm sorry. Evan,
Restraint.
there was something there that I just was that a conscience?
No,
A conscious decision?
It wasn't necessarily a conscience.
That was more of a I don't want to get beaten over a small piece of steel.
It's like
I mean, the previous two campaigns he would have done it. If I'm being honest with you.
But you see, as you look closer at the steel, you see a little symbol.
Praise be the absolute.
Praise be the absolute.
I was gonna say go on.
You don't see it's jack shit. There are no symbols.
No patterns.
Trace is making this very
No
clear
patterns.
very early.
I mean, if you really get desperate, you could always convince iPad over there, hide it inside
Oh,
the spot. Just saying.
God.
No,
They're gonna
don't
search
bring
the
that
eye.
back.
They're gonna search his eye. They do it every
Have
time.
they searched his eye in the past?
I don't know if they have.
Oh yeah.
I don't think they did. Did they? Oh. All right.
Brother,
never
it's
mind.
a hole in his head where he can hide something potentially. Of course.
The
Stop.
not
Please.
necessary.
Stop.
Stop
I don't know
it.
if they would
Please.
want to search in there.
Please, no, I don't need that.
I'm
I-
just
I'll-
saying.
I just can't believe he said that as a fucking idea. That just
Hey, let's shove a reed that's about that big and covered
Never
in,
again.
They
and
are
covered
doing
in
it-
like
they,
hard outer casing
It's-
into my eye hole place.
my dude said it with such confidence. Hey, put it in my eye hole. Like what?
every time
What?
they
What?
see
What?
Jake's character in
Ah.
line, they're like, "Wow, I'm gonna take giving head and finger banging and combine them into one beautiful ordeal."
No.
It's called an eye fucking. Anyways.
We're done with this conversation.
Yeah.
Get it out now before he gets here.
As
Hit the optic nerve. It's the G spot.
as you
God, no.
You want to feel some serotonin?
I'm literally tickling your brain right now.
Do you feel that?
Bet no one's been this deep.
All right, I'm gonna rescind my statement. Okay, we're no more eye
God
holes.
damn it!
No more.
It really takes fucking their brains out to a whole new level.
This is
Oh,
going
God.
through the eye of a needle way too seriously.
This has gone way further down the path than I thought it would for this one stupid joke.
These
Some
guys
boom
are so
shakalaka.
bigger headbangers than I am as a metalhead.
The giant horse conch
You
weighs
put
over
that piece in
11
his head, he'll
pounds.
literally be a metalhead.
Okay.
Okay, we're
Weighs
done.
more than
We're
my
done.
goddamn arm.
You all will
Fuck.
hear Teft grumble as the the area gets picked over. Collect, but I hate this place. I heard once that an entire bridge crew got eaten by a chasm fiend, one at a time, after it backed them into a dead end. Just sat there picking them as they tried to run past.
Listening to this,
If they
would
were
I-
all eaten, then who would return to tell the story?
Listening
see-
to the story, would I know it to be true?
Roll a history check.
Oh, oof.
Teft rubbed his. Okay. You don't hear a lot about Bridgman being a soldier. However, in this circumstance, you did hear that there were a few bridge crews that mysteriously disappeared throughout your tenure in the last couple years here. It's not super frequent, but it happens.
Nope.
You all will hear Rock chuckle. If they were all eaten, then who is returning to tell the story? I don't know. Maybe they just never returned. Then perhaps they fled, deserting. No, you can't get out of these chasms without a ladder. You say as you all glance upward at the rift of blue sky about 70 feet up.
Oh shit.
You ever been in a slot canyon when it rains, Rock? No. On the peaks, we do not have such things. They only exist where foolish men choose to live. You live here, Rock. And I am foolish. Did you not notice this thing? You guys are noticing that the last few days have changed Rock quite a bit. Before, what was a large, sullen, withdrawn man has become a very affable individual over time.
I see he's making progress where I'm failing.
I was talking about slot canyons. If you want to guess what will happen if we get trapped down here in a high storm?
You
A
drown.
lot of water, I guess. A lot of water looking to go any place it can. It gathers into enormous waves and goes crashing through these confined spaces with enough force to toss boulders. In fact, an ordinary rain would feel like a high storm down here. A high storm, well, this would probably be the worst place in Roshar to be when it hits. You see Rock can look upwards. Best not be caught in a storm then. Yeah. Though, if it would give you a bath, which you very much so need. Hey, is that a comment on how I smell? No, is a comment on what I have to smell. Sometimes I am thinking that a Parshendi arrow in the eye would be more pleasant than smelling entire bridge crew enclosed in barrack at night.
As soon as I hear that line, I look over at Jake's character, just like.
And this is why Garrick sleeps outside.
I'd take offensive at that if it weren't true. This place ain't much better. Smells worse than a horn eater's boots in winter down here. No offense. I mean, personally. As you all are listening to these exchanges, you're noticing that a couple of the stragglers who haven't quite accepted Kaladin's current plan of action have started to kind of coalesce and actually start to listen more. Teft smells worse than a horn eater's boots? How in the hells is he supposed to not take offense at that phrase? It's just an expression. It was out of my mouth before I realized what I was saying. Alas. You see him pull off a tuft of moss from the wall, inspecting it as they walked. Your insult has offended me. If we were at the peaks, we would have to duel in the traditional Ankylaki fashion. To me,
Wasted.
you recognize this. What is that? With spears? No, no, no. Upon the peaks, we are not barbarians like you down here. How then? Well,
Fucking roasted.
it involves much mud beer and singing.
Ooh.
How is that a duel? He who can still sing after the most drinks is the winner.
The
Thus,
winger.
soon everyone is so drunk that they forget what the argument is about.
Good way of doing things.
Beats knives at dawn, I suppose. I guess that depends. On what? On whether you're a knife merchant. Hey, Dunny? You see Kaladin's eyes turn back around to the youthful, red-haired Vaden kid. As he kind of blushes with surprise. I... Dunny? It's an odd name. What is meaning of it? Meaning? I don't know. Names don't always have meaning. Lowlanders. How are you to know who you are if your name has no meaning? So your name means something? Numa Hukumaki Alu Lunamor. Jesus.
Yeah, you just
Okay,
started
so
that, and
not
I was
as-
like, "That's funny."
I thought you froze for a second. I was like, no, he's still moving on his screen. He's just sounding it out in his head, I guess.
I don't know if that was really his
Yeah,
name. or
you
if
gotta
Trace
take a
had
second to
stroke
read it.
Due
Yeah,
to you
no, it's-
smelling toast.
You gotta sound it out first.
Yeah, it's fucking. At least with Toomey's name, there's like some exclamation points in there. I get one.
Yours is also like 4 times as long as
Yeah,
mine.
it's fucking long. Numu hu ku maki aki
I'm not
alia
even trying
lunamor.
this. I'm not even trying to write this down in my notes. Nope. This name gets lost to the annals of time. Fuck this.
Of
Yeah,
course.
I'm letting this one go.
Yep.
Of course, is description of a very special rock my father discovered on the day of my birth. So your
Fuck,
name
maybe
is a whole
important.
sentence? Is a poem. On the peaks, everyone's name is poem. He looks back at you, Toomey.
Goodness.
What is yours?
Uh,
Okay, like I actually
It's-
want to know what an actual poem is.
it's I don't really like to talk about it a lot. But it means weak, and there's a swear word in there, I've been told.
Hmm.
So
Must have interesting parents. Very different peak.
I'm sorry, but is your name Weak Bitch?
Yeah. It is. I looked up the names, and the Tuma part means weak, and then the second part it just says means some sort of swear. So I can take a liberty.
Weak fuck, weak cunt, weak shit. It can be any of these. These are all fill-ins for the word. This
Weak
is
fucker.
awesome.
Anyways,
Weak.
must make calling the family at mealtime a bit of a chore.
Get over here, weak bitch.
True. Is also making for some interesting arguments. Usually the best insults on peaks are in the form of a poem, which is similar in composition and rhyme to the name of the person. Collect. Sounds like a lot of work. Is why most arguments end in drinking, perhaps. You see Dunny kind of hesitate, and then finally, Hey, you big
boys,
buffoon.
throwing piss ups.
Hey, you big buffoon, you smell like a wet hog, so go out in the moon and jump yourself into the bog. It's good. Simple, but good. That almost sounded like a song to it, Dunny. Well, it's the first thing that came to mind. I put it to the tune of Mary's Two Lovers to get the beat right. You can sing? I must be hearing. But, sing! As you see a rock point right to his face.
Dance, monkey, dance.
You guys will see Dunny yelp before bursting into a song. It's very kind of Irish.
You do a little
sounding.
jig with it.
Yeah.
For the end,
Yeah.
maniacs,
I just
ever
clapping
zany to the max. Da-da-da.
Oh, the rattling bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, the rattling bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. And in that bog there was a hole, a rare hole, a rattling hole, and a hole in the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, the rattling bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, the rattling bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. And in that hole there was a tree, a rare tree, a rattling tree, and the tree in the hole, and the hole in the bog down in the valley.
Oh,
And that song
God.
just keeps on going.
Oh my.
Well done. Well done, sir. I was not expecting that.
That's what happens
Wow.
when you do drinking games in Ireland.
That makes a lot of sense.
No, it keeps going. Like, it goes from hole to tree to tree to branch to nest to bird to egg to bird to egg to feather to flea to shoes.
Out of curiosity,
There
would I
wasn't
know
a
if this
lady
is
who
a
swallowed
good?
a fly.
Fuck! Stop! I don't need to go down this rabbit hole at the bottom of the sea. Anyway, would I know if this is a bad idea to be making this much noise down here?
Eh.
I'm gonna kind of whistle back to them, and then they'll just do the.
I'm having fun.
You'll hear Taft pipe up at the end of the song. It's a better performance than I've heard at many an inn. It's good to hear a lowlander who could sing.
I'll give like
I
a
had
thumbs
big-
up towards the singing. By the way, like just it was good. I'm not like trying to be like bashing on you. I'm just like it was good. Just shut the fuck up.
I had begun to think you were all tone deaf as my father's old axe sound. You see Dunny blush, but actually start to join the group a bit more. As you all start kind of picking around, you come to a big intersection. You'll see Kaladin make a X on the wall with chalk that's provided to you all when you come down here. The conversation kind of keeps going. There's some laughter here and there. Dunny is one of the individuals who kind of starts to join in on the conversing between Teft, Rock, and Kaladin. And eventually you all find what is essentially a backflow graveyard where there's a fuck ton of corpses.
Ooh, is there any that look like they're fresh with decent bandages?
Altogether unlikely, but if you need more bandages, Kaladin bought a bunch.
No, fuck yeah. I'm just gonna go ahead.
Okay.
Are there like bones and shit too? Like, does it look like there have been bodies piling up here for years and years? Or are they
It
all
looks
still
like
fresh?
most of the shit here is kind of sent through the wash cycle, as it were, every time a
from
high storm comes through.
Yeah.
So
These are the bodies that could have been on the
yes.
plateaus above us that were washed in, essentially.
And then they kind of lodge up in a backflow.
Corpse dam.
Yeah, you all see a decent amount of relatively intact new bodies mixed with a lot of rotting bodies. Sort of. There are some really gross-looking injuries throughout. There's a bunch of stuff. Here's a decent little image of Teft pulling a sphere from a corpse. Around them, you could see the little green lights. Those are life spren that, for some reason, seem to gather around corpses. Hello, Pelinar. How are you?
You just missed one of the best jokes ever, and it'll eventually come back up. But Jesus,
You are the definition of swallower. It goes in your eye.
What did we put in my eye hole?
nothing. But we
No.
talked extensely about the eye hole to a point that we it wasn't even like. Thank you. Wasn't even to a point where like anything happened. Like your eye hole had no meaning for the conversation. It just came up, and then a conversation started around it.
Gross noises were made.
With these life spren, do they seem to be interacting with our spren at all when we get closer towards them?
Nope, not really. Your spren don't really interact with anybody but you.
Okay, gotcha.
By the way, Mr. Jake, are you home or on the phone?
I am home. I'm
Sweet.
just booting up the computer right now.
Well, once you do, roll an Arcana check.
I have no idea my pluses or whatnot. I should download my character sheet on my phone, but I have
Yeah.
my dice.
You're fine. It's literally no rush.
There is an app
Okay.
called D&D Beyond where it keeps all your character sheets logged on for it too.
Yeah, but like I
Yeah,
said,
I've got the
no
app
rush.
on my phone, but I wasn't gonna log into it since all the character stuff is in your name.
Yeah, you can change that because we don't actually need it
Okay.
under my name anymore.
It's all good. Anyways, yeah. So you guys are in one of the significant backflows of the chasms where there's just a bunch of people deposited. Many are crushed from the fall or the flood. Many are missing limbs. The stink of blood and viscera hangs in the humid air and kind of clogs your mouth and almost seems to stick to the back of your throat as you breathe.
Delicious.
The group of bridgemen fall quite silent at the sight, a chill running down most of your bodies as you see those little strange clear crymlings chewing and scavenging off the bodies. Toomey, you'll see Syl float from Kaladin's shoulder down towards the bodies for making a big "bah" sound look with her face, as if she's mimicking being sick from what she'd seen other humans be.
I giggle.
You guys will hear
Oh no.
Toomey at this site let off a small giggle.
Don't look back, just remembering last night and be like, well, glad someone didn't get in my bed.
It's way too loud.
Oops.
We're on a roll tonight, guys. Jake, I'm sending you your character sheet, by the way, in Discordio for you.
Word.
Just so if you ever want it, you got it right there.
Hell yeah.
The bridgemen all know what to do, even without the rot spren, or even with the rot spren. This was far too rich of a place to pass up, and in fact, could be all that you need to collect the loot and be able to leave the chasm for the day.
I'm gonna look and see if any of these fuckers have some extra coin on them.
Spheres, but yes.
Spheres. You know what I mean. Electrum pieces, as we've had to put them in as, or what are they? Diamond? Yeah, diamond
Yeah,
spheres.
those are going to be diamond chips.
Chips.
What is it? Chips, marks, bromes, I believe.
Yep.
Um,
Investigation?
yeah, everybody, investigation, please.
Really wish I got another nat 20. That'd be cool. One cool time.
Ooh.
Man,
I rolls tonight. Nope.
Hey, I've been gone today, but I'll be back from around the way.
Investigation. Beep.
as you all start pulling bodies off from the big pile and kind of lining them up in a row, most of you are finding basic things, the occasional breastplate here, some spears. By the way, in case I haven't told you all already, spears are considered dark-eyed weapons, whereas swords are considered light-eye weapons. But regardless, you all start to pile up a decent amount of loot.
Do they have miss-and-eye weapons?
Hmm?
Do they have miss-and-eye weapons?
I hate you.
Hmm.
One-eyed weapons, you mean?
In any case,
Well, the
Toomey,
guard's walking around with one for sure.
Toomey, you find yourself digging through what looks like a very well uniformed individual. You can't really see his eyes as most of his face has been bashed in. However, you presume that he was a light eyes, and as you pick through his jacket, you pull out what looks like a full emerald brome, which is the highest denomination of currency there is. You are aware that if you turn in one of these, the entire bridge crew gets a bonus, as you get basically a full week's pay.
Wait, who found that? Brittany?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's an extra 5, right?
I will bring it over to
Yeah. Kaladin.
Kaladin.
Sweet. He nods at you. Good work, Toomey. Go ahead and drop it in with Rock over there, as you see him holding the big old loot pouch open. Yeah. In case anybody was wondering, that's the type of thing that if you tried to steal, and they discovered,
Yep.
you're getting executed.
You would die.
But it's also something that I was like, if I can give it to Kaladin, I feel like that would help us out a lot.
Do I find anything cool?
It is done, which means it's completely out of Stormlight, but it is a genuine gem, it looks like. On the other hand, Mr. Varix, as you kind of explore around and about, you find a Parshindi corpse, actually, which is quite interesting. It's farther away from kind of the central collection where most of the bridgemen are working. As you look down at him, you see the black and red marbled skin, this strange kind of rust-colored looking breastplate and helmet cap, as well as arm guards around him, and then a fairly ornate-looking dagger, which is all interesting.
Can I just lug the whole body over there?
It is very heavy.
Damn. Can I request help?
Who do you call to?
I mean, I guess who's closest to me?
Kaladin's not too far away.
Kaladin.
Oh, Varix, yes. You see him kind of trot over. As
It's a
he
giant man.
He looks down. Yeah, he's big. He's about a full head taller.
Just trotting.
Yeah. You roll a medicine check there, Mr. Varix. Yeah, you don't know. Okay. You'll see Kaladin look down at the weird armor that surrounds these guys and kind of try to pull it off because you don't need the actual corpse itself. And it sticks. And he looks down, kind of confused as he pulls the ornate knife from the sheath on the Parshindi warrior and kind of starts to cut away at some of the folds, only to realize that this is carapace armor. It's lighter than steel. It's a little bit denser and harder too. And this isn't an armor that they put on. This is an armor that they grew.
Oh, gross.
Well, maybe we should just leave that be, as he holds out the dagger to you. Good find.
Oh, thanks.
I rolled an 18. Well, I rolled a 19, but I have -1.
Bog.
Fuck.
Pog. Let's see. As you go around, you will find what appears to be. Oh, is that on the Arcana check or the investigation check?
Investigation.
Okay.
Well, then fuck you, Jake.
As you look around, you don't find anything of interest actually to the loot collection process. However, you do find a few what look like deep gouges and scrapes into the sides of the chasm wall, about 35 feet above you. They look like areas where something large and mildly spear-like dug in and then dragged down a little bit before catching. And then you see them kind of
Wow.
concurrently all along the wall.
Does it look fresh?
Roll a nature check there, Monsieur Pelliner.
Nature it up.
Bashing using dice.
Yeah, you cool.
Oh, I can tell. Yeah, I failed this one for sure. I got a 3 and I got -1 to nature.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
You look up. That's weird. And you turn right back around.
God,
and
and now we
already-
die. TPK.
Oh, I got a 19 again on the Arcana.
Okay.
-1 to Arcana, so 18.
Jeez, -1 to everything. Jesus Christ.
As you're down
Pretty
here,
much. Strength is my dub stat.
you see a strange sight. There's this almost emerald green, kind of slowly fading into blue, wind spren that kind of circles around your head before kind of slipping between your fingers and eventually landing onto your shoulder before taking the form of what looks like a small man.
Hello there, friend. Who might you be?
You see him look up at you just with expressionless blue eyes. Then he kind of turns his attention back to the bodies that are being slowly stacked. To me, perception check, please. Okie dokie. Higher or lower?
Lower.
Me or to me?
Okie dokie. You don't see shit. Alrighty.
Cool.
Pellinor, as this strange sight happens, you'll notice something else, or more importantly, Garrick, you notice something quite important. Pretty much all the bodies you're pulling off of this are clad in Sadie's green.
Whoa, you are
so-
lagging.
Oh.
Internet
Fun.
being funky.
You know what? Let's do this first. I'm back.
Oh, that sounds better.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's why we say goodbye to Wallpaper Engine.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Might need to update it or something. Oh,
No,
nope.
just-
There goes the cutting in and out again.
Hmm.
Might just be internet connection right now.
I'm not
Is there a
having
storm
any
up there?
issues.
It's not cutting out for me.
Whoa.
So that's just you.
2 seconds.
You
Same with
suck.
me.
We love you, Marshall. You still suck, though.
Hello.
Dishonor on you! Dishonor on your cow!
I'm glad you've added this to my sideboard.
I couldn't believe it wasn't on there already.
All kinds of extra bullshit! What? Then let them eat it! Yes, I do. Hentai too.
Jesus.
Samuel L.
Yay.
Jackson.
And Tachi.
Yeah, it was one of those like read off what people were searching about Samuel L. Jackson, and they wanted to know if he watches anime.
Fuck yeah, he does.
Yes, I do. Hentai too.
Such a great clip.
Such.
This pleases me.
That one's one of my favorites. So simple.
I like you, and I want you. Now we can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way. I came looking for booty.
I feel like at this point you can get rid of Jan's goodbye. That was really a one use and done kind of situation.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
How we doing, Marshall?
Why is it that came through so clearly, but everything else is laggy?
I don't know.
That's amazing.
I don't know. Tough to say.
Wow.
Value.
Updating anything,
Is
right?
it because your computer is blowing up?
In any case, as it is noticed that it is primarily Sadius, Christ, Bright Lord Sadie's army, who is currently occupying this chasm. You'll hear Teft say, Sadies, and you'll hear Dunny immediately pipe up, Bright Lord Sadies, as you see him kind of shrink back in embarrassment. Sorry, I didn't mean to correct you. I used to forget to say it all the time, and my master beat me when I did. Master? I was an apprentice. I mean, before. You see him trail off and just kind of generally refuse to speak on any more past that. As you remember how it's still fairly taboo, despite Rock's confession as to how he got here the night before, involving much choldung. It is still fairly taboo to express how you became a slave prior to this. As you all start to continue your collection, you'll see something interesting. You'll see Kaladin pick up a spear. Oop, did we lose? Brittany.
No.
Is the
Bye,
internet
Brittany.
is the internet just getting fucked over there?
Yeah,
It
Jade,
might be
what
'cause
did you
mine's
do?
lagging.
Our
Mine's also
internet's
lagging.
taking a shit.
Yay.
It's pooping all at once.
Well, don't worry. Just watch the Twitch stream. Goodbye. In any case. This is where we take a short intermission since half our
Time to go
party
grab a drink.
is getting laggy.
Laggy and
We're taking
baggy.
a 5, I'm assuming.
Sure. Let's see if we get your internet back up and not.
I've got to try and reconnect too because it keeps on freezing on the left side of the screen, not on the right side for some reason.
That's
So
cool.
I'll be right back.
Okay. 5 minutes.
Put some new fans in my computer.
Yeah. How's
And
that
the
going for you?
bitches are silent.
Nice.
OnlyFans?
Yeah. Only fans in my computer. No water.
Nice.
Not yet.
I love how they're all in one household, so if the internet gets fucked, we're just screwed.
They could take a trip to McDonald's, one laptop.
Oh my goodness, that'd be awful and hilarious at the same time. I kind of want it to happen now.
You're in a Chinese opium den, Timmy.
Chinese opium den? Timmy?
Don't go in there, Evan.
Oh,
You'll come out a different person.
What is
by
happening?
the way, does anybody have a place in Denver where I could store a vehicle for 3 days without fear of fucked shit happening to it?
Like Denver, or like my house?
No, it could be pretty much anywhere. I just
You could leave it at my house.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I have a place where you can put it where it definitely won't get fucked with after you put it there, but getting it there, it's going to be fucked with.
How fun. Maybe I'll just go with the house option.
Well, so there's this spot where you can drive right off the road into a ditch.
It's a horrible option.
It's not really going to get fucked with there because, you know, there's a lot of trees that cover it, but it's going to be a fun ride down there.
I think I'll take Brad.
Love to suggest.
Yeah, and I just live in Parker.
love
Ask
to
Jake.
suggest my place.
Everything is safe in Parker.
Yeah, Parker's chill.
Oh, were you the one who's telling me though about like a group of kids who were going around like carjacking people at gunpoint in Parker?
Not a gun point at the thing.
No, but they are carjacking people. My brother's car got stolen like 8 months ago.
I haven't had any issues. Okay. There you go. You can see where it's at now.
Awesome. Appreciate you. Yeah, my trip out is on the morning of the 28th. So I'll probably pop down the 27th and maybe chill out with you for a day. Something like
Yeah, I got a spare
Ready to take-
bedroom, all that jazz.
So what you're saying is you're going to be gone for D&D?
I mean, I'll probably have a laptop then. You think I you think that
Say, you're
I'm a
down at Brandon's.
quitter? Nope.
We could actually set up the first full in-person session.
Yeah, that's actually true. Good.
My house is big enough.
You have no idea how
I'm
down
only
for this
30
I
minutes
am.
away. My parents live across the street.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if it's at the end of September, we're doing an in-person session. You bet your ass I'm going on Amazon and ordering a Crocodile Dundee costume, and I am wearing that shit.
I mean, I'm that would be awesome.
But you can come down
that
whenever,
does
bro.
remind me,
Really.
Sick.
In 2 weeks, I'm once again gonna have another show I'm going to on Thursday night.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then next month, I think I might be missing 2 sessions in a row.
Oh, you're so fired, dude.
And that's how
we're
Pelinar
going-
died. Unfortunate.
we're going out to New York for 2 weeks. Yep, I'll be gone 2 weeks in a row, the 5th and the 12th.
How come you don't hang out with me for 2 weeks, Jake?
Are we going someplace?
I didn't know I was required to go somewhere for 2 weeks to hang out with you.
I just exclusively travel now. Sorry.
You could travel to my basement.
That is true.
Is that your pickup line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty solid. It works every time, I think.
Came looking for booty.
Booty, 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 rocking everywhere.
Buddha.
So does anybody actually fought Kaga yet? Like, and actually killed her?
What is this? I'm sorry.
In Baldur's Gate?
In
That
PG3?
fucking stupid druid bitch with the snake.
Oh no.
I talked to the tiefling a while back, and he like gave me an option to actually like murder her before I like saved him and everything. And so I was just curious if anybody actually murdered her.
No.
Because I was like,
said, hey, yo, your position is just fucked. Here's Halson. Suck my dick, bitch.
right? Yeah, no, the tiefling guy, I was like, I could take her out or something. And he's like, oh, that might not be a bad idea. And I'm like, oh, sick. I could just kill her ass. But I never did it. I got Halson.
Is the red tiefling that everyone's thirsting over?
No.
No,
Oh, that's Karlak.
that is Karlak, and I'm just saying. First, you gotta bang Lae'zel, but then they nerfed the horniness on all of the characters. You can bang Lae'zel in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah,
and then
that
you
one's
can
the
ditch
easiest.
her, and then go bang.
God, I need to find
Karlak.
this TikTok. I need to find this TikTok again.
But yeah,
Oh shit, where is
that
it?
was part of one of the most recent patches. They actually nerfed the level of horniness that the NPCs have.
Well, apparently you could bang her
They
within
made it-
like less than 20 minutes, like
Oh yeah,
initially.
you can. So there's a set of dialogue that after you get her, you can trigger like right after you meet Gale. And if you do this exact series of combinations, you used to be able to sleep with her literally 15 minutes into the game, it's like 48 seconds or something like that. after you land. You can literally go straight to her, straight to Gale, skip all the dialogue, and then bang her.
Yeah.
Lae'zel is the horniest character.
She's like, I like to fight stuff and bang.
Yeah, like
stuff and bang.
literally, and if you're a female character, you literally, her line after you do it correctly is she's like, I want to taste you. How do you feel about that?
Oh my god, I found the meme. I found the meme.
Scrumptious.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
So I
This
have
is-
banged Lae'zel in every campaign because I accidentally stumbled across the right combination to do the first time I ever interacted with her in dialogue. It was like, I'm gonna remember this.
You gotta watch what I just posted in memes. It's it's
Yeah,
so fucking funny.
Bang. Oh yeah. Karlak is on my to-do list, but I've done things that upset her, so it's a little harder to do.
And you need to get those potions of fire resistance.
Well, yeah.
Have any of you played Starfield yet?
Nope. Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, I've been playing Starfield. That's why I haven't finished Baldur's Gate. But I got 110 hours in Baldur's Gate. And
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
fucking love it.
I've seen that one.
I have
I hard rushed
150.
out that shit after a certain point. I was like, I literally can't have this consuming my life anymore. I just need to
Yeah.
end it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Starfield came
baby.
out.
I have literally
I
nothing
only
else to
have
do,
30
so
hours in there.
Yeah, baby.
that's why his neighbors hate him.
Well, we have one back.
The rest will join shortly.
See, I liked Cam's suggestion where if it doesn't work, you guys have to all go to McDonald's with one laptop and sit there.
Good. I don't want to do that. Internet's going still a little slow. It's still trying to load up the fucking everything else, but
It's Wonk. Wonkavision.
Whoa.
They wouldn't even need to go to McDonald's. I could just go to my house. I live close enough.
active. All we have to do is hope that nothing goes laggy while we're all reconnecting.
This is true. It's a good thing that you lagged out when you did, because
I lagged out on some information on Saudis, which pisses me off, but I need to hear it.
nothing of ridiculous import.
I don't care. It's important to me because it's
What
information.
is Shoddy's whole deal?
He is the Bright Lord of a whole part of the. He is the High Prince.
He owns one of the big encampments.
Yeah.
More specifically, ours.
Yeah. And he is also the individual who owns like the northwestern part
Yes,
of
northwest of
Alethkar.
Or, not Roshar. Not Roshar. Not all of Roshar, at least.
No. Alethkar, in particular.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yay.
Okay. D&D Beyond is going hella slow. That's about it, though.
Yay. Luckily, you guys won't have to roll for a minute.
All of a sudden, when I clicked on D&D Beyond,
Roll
again,
for
it reloaded
initiative.
and worked perfectly.
Here's the Chasm Fiend. Get fucked, nerds.
Is everyone else okay? Brittany, Jade, are you able to hear? I didn't hear you, but that might be because you were further from your mic.
Neil
can
Britt.
hear.
Yay.
You're echoing all the way into the room, though. How is your
know.
voice so fucking loud?
He projects.
I have a voice.
So Garrick, the one thing that you're noticing, the most prevalently, is that nearly all the bodies that are being pulled out of this area of the chasm are Sadie soldiers. So, yeah, that's the important part. Otherwise, Dunny just corrected Heft and made sure that he said Bright Lord Sadies, because his master used to beat him if he forgot the honorifics. But in any case, you all will look over and see something a bit odd. You see Kaladin reach down into the kind of ankle deep water in this area and pull out a well-maintained spear. Uh, Smooth wood, well made. And you see him kind of go to move for a second and then hesitate and stop. Roll a perception check, everybody.
I like perception.
Buddy.
I straight up thought he was gonna hit us with the
Perception.
roll for initiative right there.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, I'm
So-
awesome.
It's so good that Garrick, I think, is the only motherfucker that's going to pass this.
Let's see. Oh, I have a +4 to perception.
What about Tuma Tuma?
Oh,
I'm
shit.
just kidding.
Oh, 20.
Really?
That's not
Roll
a
or
bad
dirty?
20.
Okay.
It's an improved 20.
I was about to
It's
say,
dirty.
damn, am I about to put
I
two
rolled
more
16.
teamworks in the book?
Hold on. 15, 18, 19, 20. Yeah,
Uh,
20. Because I have +4.
Pelinar
So it's a
and
poopy
Garrick,
20, but it's not a 20 nonetheless.
you guys will each hear Kaladin kind of whispering barely underneath his breath. But it's very clear, especially to you, Garrick. You hear this as if it is being spoken directly to you. The first step is to care. Some talk about being emotionless in battle. Well, I suppose it's important to keep your head, but I hate the feeling of killing while calm and cold. I've seen that those who care when they fight harder and longer, better than those who don't. It's the difference between being mercenaries and real soldiers. It's the difference between fighting to defend your homeland and fighting on foreign soil. It's good to care when you fight, so long as you don't let it consume you. Don't try to stop yourself from feeling. You'll hate who you become. And you see his hand kind of quivering as the spear rattles in his hands.
Kind of take a breath for a moment, and then I was once in charge of a bridge crew.
You were once in charge of a squad.
A squad.
Yeah.
And I.
As you go to speak in this moment, which is the first time that pretty much any of you have heard sounds coming from
Yep.
Garrick, you'll hear somebody interject basically right as Garrick is about to speak. What are you planning on doing, Lordling? Going to ram that spear through your own gut? As you all look over and see Moash, the still biggest detractor for Kaladin, as he stood near the line of corpses.
Shit.
He claims to be a deserter. You see him speak to one of the other men next to him, saying he was some important soldier, a squad leader or the like. But Gaz says that's all stupid boasting. They wouldn't send a man to the bridges if he actually knew how to fight. As you see Kaladin kind of lower the spear. Look at him. You see the darker skinned Sigzul say, "Ho, bridge leader. You think that you're grand, that you're better than us? You're pretending that we're your own personal troop of soldiers will change anything? Leave him alone," you hear Drehi say. "At least he tries." Earless Jack snorts, pulling a boot free from a dead man. He cares about looking important. Even if he was in the army, I bet he spent his days cleaning out latrines. You hear kind of a chorus of dissenters. His fault we're down here. Wants to run us ragged in our only free time just so he could feel important. Sent us to carry rocks so he could shove us around. Bet he never held a spear in his life. And it's at that sound that you see Kaladin kind of hick. As you see suddenly Kaladin's eyes go very sharp. He appears to be reliving what looks like 1,000 lifetimes of memories, all at the same side. As you We'll see. Strength suddenly surged through him as he spun the spear into an advanced kata. Kata, Garrick, you're the only one who recognizes this. They're kind of daily movements that you go through with spears. His body moved of its own accord, going through the forms he'd trained so frequently in. The spear danced in his fingers, comfortable, an extension of his self. He spun it, swinging it around and around, across his neck, over his arms, in and out of jabs and swings. Though it had been months since he even held a weapon, his muscles seemed to know what to do, as if the spear itself knew what to do. You see his face, all the tension and frustration melting away as his body seemed to sigh with contentment as he worked it furiously. This was familiar, this was welcome, and this is what he was created to do. As you all look at the sight of him running through these fluid motions, you see something very interesting. There seems to be this blue light that trails the front of his spearhead, as the wind itself almost seems to bend around him. You see him move with grace and elegance and speed and deadly precision. You see Kaladin spin through the last motions of the kata, the chasm, the bridgeman, and his fatigue seeming to have been forgotten for a moment. It was just him and the wind. He fought. He fought with her, and she laughed. He snapped the spear back into place, holding the haft in 1/4 position, spearhead down, the bottom haft tucked underneath his arm, end raising back behind his head. He breathed in deeply, and his entire body racked with shivers. As he opened his eyes, you all see him take in the stunned group, Moash having dropped a handful of spears in his stunned silence, causing the water beneath your feet to kind of glow. What you just saw was almost beyond perfection. It was a man pushing his absolute limits with every single step. It was gorgeous and stunning. And you wonder how the fuck he is in a bridge crew.
I'll just keep to myself on that one.
As you see him suddenly drop the spear and will walk off into one of the adjacent chasms, followed closely behind by Teft.
I'll follow as well. I've got questions.
Okay. Garrick, you follow and kind of drop in on you follow and hear Kaladin shout back to work. I don't want to be caught down here when night falls. As he you see his hands almost shaking as he rounds the corner. Kaladin, lad, Teft says, almost reverently. It was meaningless, just a kata, meant to work the muscles, make you practice basic jabs and thrusts and sweeps. It's a lot slower than it is, showier than it is useful. But no, really, can you imagine a man swinging a spear around his neck like that in combat? He'd be gutted in a second. Lad, I've seen katas before, but not one like that. The way you moved, the speed and grace. And there was some sort of sprin zipping around you between your sweeps, glowing in a pale light. It was beautiful. As you hear Rock, who's walking right beside you, Garrick. You could see that? Sure. Never seen a spread like that. Ask the other men. I saw a few of them pointing. It was nothing. No, that it certainly was not. Perhaps you should challenge a shard bearer. You could become Bright Lord. I don't want to be a Bright Lord. Kaladin snaps. Besides, I tried that once. Where's Dunny? Wait, you. Where's Dunny? You see Teft and Rock share a glance and then look over at you, Garrick, kind of noting their confusion.
Why are you really here?
You see Condon kind of narrow his eyes at you. Roll a persuasion check.
Persuade me.
Oh shit!
Okay,
That's
not bad.
pleasantly surprising for my -1.
Persuasion machine. Boom, boom, boom.
Because this man's too skilled. There's stuff this man's not telling me, and I can tell just from that. But I don't know if he'll be willing to tell me why. So let's see if I can get it.
You see him look directly in your eyes. I'm here because Honor is dead. As you see him kind of shake his head and sigh.
If you really believed that, you wouldn't be trying to save people still. I'll ask again. Why are you here?
I'm here because I trusted Light Eyes. A mistake I am not planning on making anytime soon. As you kind of get the feeling that that's the final word he'll have on it.
Racist bastard, Jesus.
Not racist, classist, if anything.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Or if someone's eyes does not dictate their character.
That's not where I was going to go next, but if I'm not allowed to say anything past that.
To be fair, Garrick, you think most Light Eyes are also assholes.
Yeah.
Mainly because they're the ones who threw you here as well.
Yeah. Can I use that?
But yeah. With that, the rest of the day kind of passes as you collect enough loot to start making your way back out of the chasm. Climbing up, you all are subjected to the fucking awkward situation of going through a cavity search. You each get your bonus for...
Spread my bunghole.
You each get your bonus for collecting a emerald brome. So go ahead and add 5 electrum to your stocks.
So how many are we at right now? 10 or 15? Because we've been here for 2 weeks, so it'd
well-
be 10 total right there, right?
It depends. Did you start taking your money or not?
I'm still
Like-
keeping all of my money.
Well, did you do it at the beginning? Were you ever trying to pay down your slave debt?
I'm saving it to the side. We'll see if I can make enough.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. In which case you would have 15.
And then I want to bet as well.
Bet?
Oh yeah, you and I have been gambling together. I forgot about this.
When somebody
yes,
said
yeah.
Kaladin couldn't.
Yeah, you won the bet. Yes.
Oh yeah, a bunch of people won the bet.
Yeah. So you have 1 extra sphere.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure there were like 2 more who also bet on this.
In any case, that night, once again, you will see Kaladin out front with Rock, brewing up a halfway decent stew. As you all see everybody slowly partake, even the biggest dissenters from earlier that day. As you all come to wakefulness, at the behest of Kaladin, you see about 10 out of 30 of the bridgemen, not including yourselves, actually go out and start to engage in the stretches and practices that Kaladin is doing, including, of course, Rocktuft and Dunny. Who's joining?
I mean, I'm already there, so.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
I'm not trying to get my eyebrows dirty.
After watching his performance, I will definitely be joining his training.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'll join. Fuck you guys.
Everyone else, I'm not joining. I'm gonna go join. Well,
I
everyone
am
else is. I guess
going
I'll do
to
it.
join the training, but I'm going to use it as like, you know how a lot of people will just take, you know, a gym class not seriously just to go kind of hang out with their buddy. I'm gonna do that with LOL, just to sit there, and I'm gonna talk to him the whole time.
They're
Halfway.
walking the mile together.
Yep. That's the whole thing. Well, I mean, I've decided LOL's my best friend, but he hasn't accepted it yet.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to be busting my ass in this training while he's sitting here trying to talk to me.
Lol. Arcana check, please.
Is this why Lowell doesn't mind Garrick? Is because he doesn't speak?
I figured that out way early, but my character is not wise.
Roll one more, please.
Garrick, it's not because you're a decent dude. It's because you don't talk. You're always quiet, and I don't have to listen to shit coming out of your mouth.
It's peaceful.
It's a peaceful time.
Lol, as you are pulling the bridge back and forth, you'll see kind of what looks like some sooty ash that's spread over your skin. As you kind of reach over to brush it off, it just doesn't. In fact, as it moves, it goes in the opposite direction of the wind. As it kind of continues to crawl, almost with little spider-like appendages of ash across your skin.
Interesting. What is this?
What, mate?
You don't see this? It's ash. I can't get it off.
I'm not seeing anything on you there, Goncho.
Well, it's called the ash plague.
Okay. All right. And I'll just go back to lugging my stuff.
Okay. Well, alrighty then.
Remember that is.
I don't have time. I have to train.
Must be sweat.
I have to get better.
Get better for what?
For myself. Don't you want to be the best you can be?
I just want to get out of here so I can get right pissed again with my Gonchos back home.
Well, you know, I bet you if you worked harder, you'd be a little bit closer to getting out.
Goncho, I don't know if we're ever getting out of here.
Well, you'll be a little bit closer to death, and either way.
Yes, the long swag.
All right, you're going back into that gibberish, and you know I'm starting to not understand you, and I'm just gonna run off with my plank.
As more and more people join the training, you guys will actually get whole, like, partially finished sections of bridges to run in unison. In fact, you'll start to hear Kaladin shouting out rhythm, and honestly, just the one switch of having you all run in the same cadence helps out like 20-fold. It's actually way easier. Well, the day is yours. You're on bridge duty, so on the afternoon. So there's not really anything to do except for wait for a possible run. After the training, Kaladin will kind of look over at you all. Good work. You made big strides today in keeping in rhythm with each other, and I'm sure that the strength training will definitely help. As several exhausted members of Bridge 4 fall into their small cots inside of the barrack.
Back to my little corner of camp to draw my little doodles.
Okie dokie. Performance check. Let's see if you're getting better.
I doubt it, but hey, the dice have been interesting tonight. I don't think I've rolled above a 4 on this, so let's see if I hold through.
You're getting a bit better. It's not great.
Getting a little more detail to those triangles.
Yeah. You're moving into like stick figures. You've gone from super abstract to like mildly more
Caveman.
concrete.
It's making more sense, but it's not enough to put a picture together for people.
I am on my way back in, gonna put Kaladin's name next to Garrick's name in front of the door.
I love this stupid joke.
Okie dokie. Lol, you're the only one who could read that.
Jesus.
Can our female character read it? Or no, she doesn't.
She doesn't know Horn Eater.
Yeah.
No, I know Horn Eater. I don't know
Oh,
his.
no, it's Herdasian. Sorry.
Yeah.
Double H's.
For Daisy.
Or days,
We are a motley crew.
Yeah. All right. Anything anybody else wants to do with the time?
We don't have any other belongings except for like our cots, right?
Nope.
Like the other items with us, right?
No, you could buy them if you want. You have your spears, but that's about it.
I'd like to blow shit up with my mind.
Do I think I could go?
No.
Can I wander off to go see if I can find somebody who would sell me just a piece of steel?
Sure. There's kind of the outer markets. It's a little sketchy for a bridgeman to be going alone, but if you want to, you're all good.
Don't go alone.
I'm not smart
Take
enough
this.
to. I'm not smart enough. I mean, I'm smart enough to realize that's a bad decision, but I'm like, it'll be fine.
Alrighty.
Oh, I'm gonna change out my
this-
neck. I'm gonna
I hope this goes horribly wrong so I can learn my lesson.
Roll a stealth check,
something.
please.
I'm gonna change out my nasty neck bandages too.
Not gonna go well.
Okay.
Haven't done that since the incident.
Stealth.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's the same plus, so it's.
Okay. Yeah. So you walk through with relative ease, I guess is the best way to put it. Roll an investigation check. See if you can find a place that'll sell what you need. Okay. It takes you a bit, but eventually you find a kind of smaller, more junk store than anything else that'll sell a small. It's a bit smaller than what you found in the chasm, but yeah, they'll sell a fairly tiny, maybe. What would you say? About that big piece of iron to you for. Yeah, roll a persuasion check. Let's see how low it is. Okie dokie. Yeah, you could get that for 10 clear marks.
Dang, it's almost all of mine because I joined a week later.
Mhm.
Will you put it on a string for me?
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
You see
You
him
got yourself a deal.
wrap a string around the thin metal bar and hand it to you as you hand him over 10 spheres. As you are digging through and you see your one extra sphere, interestingly enough, you notice that it's actually much dimmer than the other ones that you have in there. And Stormlight, for some reason, got trained faster. It's weird.
Can I investigate this further?
Yeah. Roll an intelligence check.
This is where I have a chance. I'll take that.
Okay. It's possible that Gaz just gave you some, what would you say, longer used spheres that didn't have as much light left in them. So infused gems are as valuable as uninfused gems. After all, you just need to leave them out during a high storm for them to refill. However, there are a lot of merchants out there and people that would be skeptical of accepting a done sphere. So it's generally best to try to keep them as infused as possible. That's good practice. Plus, some cultures consider it lucky to keep a infused sphere with you.
Well, I definitely I decided I'm superstitious before this campaign started, so I'm gonna have to start doing that.
Alrighty, you keep your one sphere in there with you then.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna skip my my now very very happy ass back to town. I don't even care if I don't eat today. I'm excited. I got steel.
As you approach, you suddenly feel the urge to sit down along with everybody else.
Sitting down.
Okay.
What do you do?
I start making a little either necklace or wristband out of my steel and string.
Do you sit down?
Is there something going on, or I just feel compelled to sit down?
You feel like your body just said we should not be vertical at the moment.
Oh yeah, I'm laying down.
Okay. Everybody else?
Yep.
I mean, I've already been sitting down anyway, so.
Okay. Anybody standing up?
Just feels like a
Oh,
mistake.
you're just doing squats.
Garrick, the last thing you see before your eyes go dark is the sight of Pelinar doing squats before going back up and suddenly collapsing backwards as he closes his eyes. And yours follow shortly thereafter. You all feel one of your strange little visions. Come on. This time you're in the eyes of Adolin, the eldest son of Dalinar, as you feel his worry kind of strangling inside your chest as you look over at your father and see just how weathered he looks, even in a full suit of shard plate. It's concerning for the near mythic legendary figure that Dalinar is and has been for the past 40 years. As you all kind of watch him, you'll see him ask a general question as to why shard plate is only used by warriors and not laborers. The strength it provides that could make work far more efficient. You kind of get a general response back that it wouldn't be a very good use of the cost ratio, essentially. On a battlefield, you could do what no other man could do, whereas in a labor position, you could only do the equivalent of what, say, 20 men would do. By the argument is made by Adolin. As the argument is made, you'll see Dalinar looking very tired, pulling out a ginormous hammer that is typically used by shard bearers who have plate but no blade. As he starts using his enhanced strength from the shard plate to smash holes into the ground where a new set of latrines are going to be made for his army. You see him work and work and work for hours until his face is just drenched in sweat. And he finally pulls out as the hammer is practically bent to the side. Everybody in his personal war camp here looks at him with a mix of remorse and shock as they see their high prince, their general, in what is the opinion of many across the kingdom, particularly in Kolinar, the true power behind the king, start to what appears to be lose his mind. As Adolin goes up and talks to him, you hear a brief exchange, once again referring to visions that he's been having and how they're telling him to trust Sadius, despite the fact that Sadius is a snake and, in Adolin's opinion, a monumentous shithead who's extremely dangerous. Dalinar counters that despite his unsavory nature, Sadius did help to win the kingdom for Gavilar and is assisting Ilokar in holding it. In this one thing, despite all their disagreements, they're united in protecting Ilokar and Gavilar's legacy. With that, you'll see Adolin go out to a wine house and hear how the rumors are spreading through the camp that Dalinar is losing his touch. The Blackthorn has finally gone mad. He quakes and freezes every time a high storm goes by, remembering past battles and how he's unfit to continue to lead. Until finally, you will see Dalinar sat in a room appearing to contemplate his life as he has a book read to him called The Way of Kings. History check, everybody.
Don't tempt me.
This man's well versed in his history.
Damn it.
Damn.
Everybody just shits on me.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's a
Let's say,
natty.
like, goddamn.
Natty 20
looks
night.
like, but I mean, I guess I cursed it, right, guys?
You cursed me.
I
Yeah,
did
you in
indeed. I
particular.
did indeed. Thanks for taking the hit on this one, Evan.
Hey, you know,
Varix and Raphael, you each recognize The Way of Kings as being an old book that is Jesus.
Jesus?
No. If you look at the screen, you'll see.
Oh, cool.
Oh fuck. Yeah, no, just
natural
the first one.
Unnatural 0.
It's a natural 0.
I didn't know if it was coming through, so I also rolled my real dice, and my real dice said 6. So either way, I don't think I was gonna.
I'm gonna take the natural 1 because I've already marked it down in the book.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
Yeah. Okie dokie. Raphael and Varix, you recognize The Way of Kings as being a very, very old book, specifically speaking, more on the philosophy of ruling. You don't remember much details after that. Garrick, you remember hearing and asking about this back in the army, specifically because Dalinar, with your general admiration for the man, seemed to take an interest in it after his brother King Gavilar died. It is specifically a book about Noadon, the first king of the first king of not a Lethkar, but kind of a greater kingdom that came before. And it speaks about his journey, specifically from, and this is one of the more important parts for you, walking from his kingdom, which was far in the north, kind of closer to Herdaz than anything else, to Urithiru. which is generally considered to be a more of a metaphor than anything else, since Urithiru is said to be inaccessible via actual hiking means or any sort of traversal. However, the way that the story presents it, there was seemingly an actual pathway that led there. It just was never specified as this. It was kind of a place that everybody knew about.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
My character thinks about saying something for a second. Does anything happen?
Roll an Arcana check.
Ooh.
Higher or lower?
I hate this fucking game. Higher.
Damn.
Fucking my ass.
So close. You speak, but you feel as if there is some sort of minor blockage that isn't allowing this final means of communication.
Some mad constipation.
Like I'm literally about to say something in the background, and it's like,
Nope.
Nothing.
Regardless, as you continue to hear the Way of Kings read to him, you'll hear him just kind of say one sentence before kind of turning in for the night, and he says, "Brother, you must find the most important words man can say." Roll another history check, everybody.
Yeah.
Do I have to, or
Yeah.
Can I pick? Okay, I was wondering if I could pick it back up that net 20.
Nah, not this one. This
Okay, I'll just roll another one. It'd been cool if I did though.
This is a separate matter. Although it's actually pretty good. Okay, yeah. Garrick, Louise, you each recognize that as the words that were found next to King Gavilar's dead body after the assassin in white killed him a couple years ago. And they seem to still weigh heavily on Dalinar's mind. With that, the vision comes to an end, and the lot of you all find yourself back awake. From having engaged in training for a couple days now, go ahead and everybody increase your strength score by 1.
I have to ask you how to do that.
You click on the thing that says strength, and you go to the right and click the other modifier button and increase that by 1.
The full score. So if I was at 16, would it go to 17, or am I go? Okay.
I am no longer a -1.
Hell yeah, buddy.
I have no stat change at all.
Yeah.
Not the noodle arms anymore.
Got them noodles.
All right. As you all find your way,
1?
strength modifier up by 1. As you all find your way into the barracks, you see the man who had the arrow through the leg from one of the previous bridge runs, whose name is Hobber, seeming to get significantly better. He's in higher spirits, and his leg appears to be healing quite nicely. The man with the stomach wound no longer has rot sprint crawling all over him, which is a big positive, but he still looks pretty messed up.
Does he?
The afternoon comes, and just about 10 minutes before you're supposed to swap off of your on-call bridge dutiness, you will hear the horn blast twice as the group lines up and goes out on a bridge run. Those of you who had been training the past few days have a significantly easier time than those who have not. namely because they sit around and lounge all day and don't use the strength training for anything.
I'll take the front.
Um, in any case, Kaladin takes his commensurate spot at the depth point, the very center,
So you drop your
at
dice.
the very front of the bridge, as another Parshindi assault is gone forward. They're not quite set up, so it's not the worst bridge run in the world. But you guys will hear a kind of scream of defiance as a wave of arrows is launched at you all from Kaladin. And you'll hear a loud thud against the exterior of the bridge as not a single person seems to get injured. It's a minor fucking miracle. You all drop the bridge, put it in place, and go to duck and cover.
Sick.
The battle goes quickly as Sadius is out front with his big ass warhammer, just creating space for his armies in his shining shard plate. The battle is eventually won, the gem heart taken, and you all pull up the bridge and make your way back.
I'll take the front again.
All right. As many of you start to fall into cadence, there's a strange thing that occurs. Kaladin, every single time you guys get the chance to stop and catch your breath, pretty much everybody collapses down and just recovers from the exertion. Kaladin, even since the beginning, has always stood, almost defying the gods themselves, trying to force him down. Even as you see exhaustion spren bursting around his head, like little motes of dust circling, he stands there. And as a soldier is crossing, you hear a dark-eyed squad leader shout out, "Oh, little bridgeman, you seem so serious with all your standing about." As he kind of jeers at him slightly. See Kaladin look over at him. "How do you treat your spear and shield, bridge leader, or rather, squad leader?" As you see, Garrick, you know this personally. You treat your weapons as well as you possibly can, for if they fail in the midst of battle, you die. As you see the squad leader kind of taken aback by this, you'll hear a few jeers from some of the lower soldiers. "What of it?" he shouts out. As Kaladin kind of points out to the bridge itself. "This bridge is the only weapon afforded to me. Treat her well." As you hear a few more jeers from the soldiers, but there's kind of a gentle reverence and kind of confusion from the squad leader himself as the army passes. The bridge is lifted and eventually taken back. Everybody perception check, please, as you kind of
Beep.
tuck into sleep for the night.
Jesus Christ, guys.
Damn. Damn.
I mean, shit, Evan, thanks. I really appreciate you taking the fucking knock on this one.
Yeah, my lord. Lowell,
That's
Raphael,
19.
and Toomey. As you look down, you all notice that your spheres, which were
I
infused
see 'em.
this morning, are completely done, which is really fucking weird.
Like they're out of Stormlight.
They're
Do
no
we
longer
feel
glowing.
any different personally? Like less exhausted or more exhausted?
You feel less exhausted, but you don't know if that's the training or you being a crackhead.
Or both.
Or
Are we
both.
talking about Jade or her character? I love you.
Her character.
Rude.
um,
Do Spren like eat energy or anything like that?
uh, roll a history check with advantage. Solid. Solid. Okay. So there's such thing as fabrials in this world. Um, they're essentially gemstones that are combined with various types of metals in order to produce certain effects. One of the more common ones that's been getting very popular recently is heating fabrials. So they're these kind of large rubies that are used to produce heat at the cost of Stormlight. There are also things like span reeds. They are little pens that essentially can write out whatever somebody is writing, regardless of their distance. They also consume stormlights the farther the distance is and the more that is written. But there's a bunch of these different different fabrials that require stormlight as a kind of fuel. With that history check, you're aware that a general idea in fabrial science is that you trap spren inside these gemstones, and that changes the effect of what the gemstone produces. So you have to trap a flame spren into a ruby to produce a heating fabrial, for instance. But so yes, in a way, Spren can consume Stormlight. It's not something that your average Spren is going to just be able to do, but when encased in a gemstone and made specifically to do so, yes.
Okay.
Anybody
I
else
have no
want
idea
to
where our Stormlight went, but it's gone now.
go on now? Uh, um, Raphael,
Hmm.
you notice this, and I will shoot you a message about it.
Oh no.
Whispers.
This whisper is brought to you by Roll20, giving us the best natural 20s for this
By
fucking night.
WizKids.
I can't wait for next week to be all natural ones.
Don't. You're jinxing us so hard.
Gotta put the chaos in the ether, man. That's what keeps it rolling. I'm gonna be honest though, I didn't expect to roll. What was it like?
Many.
We've rolled, I think, another 6 or so nat 20s tonight. No, another 8. That's fucking wild. And only another 3 nat 1s or 2 nat 1s. 2.
This one.
That's just
Is
that's
that where
nutty.
our Stormlight went?
Oh, the nat 1s.
I'm just gonna kind of look at Kaladin and then back at our spear and then back over at him and go like this. Just like narrow my eyes as I do it. It's like I know. I see. I won't say anything. Just be a non-verbal gesture of like, I see what you're doing.
You're doing that specifically to him?
Yeah.
He notices you. It gives you a weird look. Like he is very confused. Roll an insight check.
This fucking guy. Yeah.
Roll one more. Bug it.
Low roll. Okay.
Okay.
Well, fine.
Yeah, you get the feeling that Homeboy genuinely has no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
I'm just gonna kind of like look at him again and just be like, you had a little something here. Maybe you want to rub that off.
Rub one out. Real quick.
Oh, baby.
The group's mind is in a lot of places tonight.
It's in a great place.
And just be like, all right.
By the way, you have no fucking idea about any application of Stormlight outside of like basic bitch fabrials.
I'm just very confused as to the fact that he was clearly injured, but shows no sort of scratch or anything on there.
Yeah, no, he just seems confused.
Just confused.
Anybody else have anything they want to go about before we end?
You me, my corner and my dirt.
Corner and dirt.
Like to draw, or try to remember to draw.
This time I would like to add Lol's name. I'm just gonna keep adding one person a day.
It's gonna become a hit list and no one's gonna realize it.
Yep, let's kill the one guy who's trying to help us.
His name's at the top of the list.
Well, technically, your name is at the top of the list.
That's completely fair, and I'm okay with dying.
Kill me.
It is, in fact, your character who told me to write a name.
Indeed
down.
it was. Indeed it was.
At this point, I'm just guessing which name it was. You haven't told me that you were happy with anything yet, so I'm just gonna keep writing names.
I keep it that way.
As you all fall asleep and dream of various different weird things, you each come to awakeness the next morning, and after noticing the last of the kind of stragglers who weren't participating in the training finally join in, you all will see. You pick up your actual bridge and start carrying it back and forth on the yard. As you notice the other bridge crews scowl at you all, just exceedingly pissed off at what you're doing. Presumably because if the higher ups saw that you were being more effective, then maybe they would have to also carry bridges during their off time.
Fuck them.
Enjoy death, losers.
In any case, you all
because they ain't us.
They ain't us because they ain't us.
You all get your training in, and you feel your muscles actually, for the first time in a few months at this point, you feel your muscles being sore, not because of an extreme, overwhelming pain, but more because of a kind of dull satisfaction. As it appears that finally, Bridge 4 has given themselves over to Kaladin. With that, we'll end session.
Wow.
Woot woot. We're all gonna fucking die.
Squad.
Bridge 4.
Bridge 5.
4? What?
All the bridges.
Bridge 32?
Bridge 32. There are 40 bridge crews in total. A lot of motherfuckers.
Fuck. Jesus Christ. We're all gonna fucking die.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
There's not supposed to be confidence here. I want to make sure that's very clear. Confidence is key, but we're all fucking dead.
We're all doomed. Hey man, at least y'all weren't in this situation.
Yes,
Yeah,
not in that situation.
Not
yet.
yet.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
He's clearly just trying to give that horse a hug.
Yeah, for sure. A mouth hug, just all the way down the throat.
No. Go back. Look, he's reaching for him. He's like, "Whoa, buddy, you're gonna ride off a cliff. Let me just give
help
you
ya.
a nice
Let me
little
help you
hug."
out,
Look,
brother.
he's reaching out.
Homies
Yeah,
up, homies. I got you, bro.
Hey, look, he's just trying to be helpful. That is a misunderstood man right there.
How
It's
many
like the
arms do
Men
they
in
have
Black
again?
scene.
like
12?
18.
Originally was skittering horrors.
So much fun. So much fun. Alrighty. Well, folks, I will.
So, is
see you next
Kaladin the Man in White?
Nighty night.
Nighty night.
Yeah.
Presumably not.
night.
Good night. The man in white was Shin. So very big eyes, bald, round head.
I mean, we never actually saw his face. I don't think it was always. No, yeah, we didn't mind.
But
No, didn't he have a mask over his face?
no mask. He was distinctly wearing a very
No, you're right. You also mentioned his eyes.
yeah, but no, he is Shin, and everything about him is round, whereas Kaladin is very sharp in pretty much all his features.
Kaladin. Go Kaladin. Go Kaladin.
He's pointy.
He is pointy.
Oh, probably head in bed. Alright.